to a double-edged sword or what you call it.
So you had pretty much constant pressure on him the entire fight, and then you landed that crushing right in the second that put him down.
Yeah.
So you feel had that ref not stopped it with that high groin that you might have been able to finish him off there?
Oh, I was on my way to because I could feel the body shots. He was like making women gestures, like, when he was like getting hit to the body. So I ripped him. I think it was like a hook, right hook to the solar plexus and then a liver where I could feel his spine. And then he slumped over, and I could see on him he was thinking. He was like a second away from quitting, but because he had my hands wrapped up, I couldn't really continue with the hand, so I was just like trying with the knee, and it was on the belt line. And then, as a smart fighter would do, be like, oh, my nuts, and then.
Yeah. Well, one more. You called out Shane Burgos.
Yeah.
That would be a real banger of a fight. So, any special thoughts on that call out?
After my last fight with Clay Collin, I texted Shane personally on Instagram, and I was like, yo, Shane, I'm a huge fan of yours. Like, it's nothing but respect. I think we could do some Mickey Ward, Arturo Gatti type of shit in that cage. Winner gets beer. It's no animosity. Like, I'm a huge fan of yours. You want to get it done, and then I'm going to make a little call out. And he was like, yeah, man, the same, like, big fan of yours. Like, let's get it on, boom, boom, boom. But he couldn't fight until later this year. So, win, lose, or draw, I don't give two shits. I just love this game, and I want to put on, like, a little bit of drama in there and, like, a little bit of back and forth. And, of course, you got to fight smart here and there, but I'm a true fighter. I'm not trying to fight, like, 3 cans and then, oh, yeah, man, I'm 25-0 and shit. Fuck that shit. The real fighters is the dude. Anybody, anywhere, anytime. You got the flu. You got the clap. You just show up. Yeah.
I hear there's a good card toward the end of the year. Right?
Yeah. I don't know about that. I just know if you put me and Shane on any freaking card, people want to see it.
Nice.
Because that's true fighters right there. Not all this bullshit. A lot of because I think most fighters today in this game, they're not fighters, they're athletes. They like it for the image. They like to tell their friends that they're fighters and shit like that. If I don't train and I don't have a fight, I get depressed. This is like this is my art form. This is my way of expressing myself. Like, this is what I wake up for in the morning. Like, kids, they wake up to play PlayStation or go to school. Like, my drug is like going to practice, going into the fights, fighting with my nuts out, feeling that I'm alive. You know what I mean? So I love this shit. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ideally, when would you like to fight Shane? November for the PFL finals?
Yeah, because now I've had back-to-back fights 4 or 5 months in a row. So I'd like to go back. I haven't really seen my family. I've seen them 4 days since January. So I'd like to go back for a month and, chill with my mom and my dog and my dad and, just chill.
Yeah. You fought for PFL, obviously. PFL and Bellator merged. Is there any difference, or is it the same thing? How do you feel about sort of fighting for a different promotion, kind of?
The difference is, mad respect to Bellator, but PFL, if you want to stay active, the motherfucker's going to keep you active. And, I love it. Eduardo, mad respect, cool cat. Greg, cool cat. Sefo, man, fucking legend. How many fighters can say they actually have a boss that fought on the highest level against the baddest motherfuckers? We can say that here in PFL.
Yeah.
If you don't listen to the boss, he might come in and slap you off himself.
It's a big guy, too.
Yeah.
And you won the fight, and you're technically an alternate. Do you ever think about that? Like, I might get the call, or?
Listen, I'm thinking about today. That's it. Yeah, maybe about burgers a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But in all reality, this might be fucked up, but I almost rather fight Shane in November than be the alternate for $1 million.
Really?
Yeah.
That fight means that much.
Yeah, because I want that on my resume.
Yeah.
I don't want a resume where it's like, oh, yeah, so I had 45 fights and nobody knows a single dude I fought.
Yeah.
That don't mean shit. I want Shane. I would like Pitbull before he retires. That's 2 dudes. And when I say I want to fight them, it's meant in the most respectful manner ever. Like, I have no animosity towards them.
Yeah.
Pitbull, when I was 17 going to high school, I was seeing this dude murking motherfuckers left and right in Bellator. To be to my homies back home, yeah, man, I beat that dude up. When we were sitting at home at 15, 16 years old, eating candy, drinking soda, seeing this dude killing people left and right, and I beat his ass. That's the shit I want, yeah.
And now with the PFL and Bellator merger, there's a ton of fights available, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned Pitbull, you mentioned Shane,
Yeah.
any other guys that catch your interest?
Right now, that's what
it?
I want. Yeah. Ideally, because he's a legend in Europe, I like Stevie Ray, but that's not as high on my list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
And Mads, right here, so another big win for you, man. I know you mentioned at the beginning you were a bit surprised at how tough Elvin was, but was the game plan going in to kind of pressure him and make it a grueling fight where you break him down the stretch?
My game plan with everybody. If I'm playing FIFA, if I'm playing 2K, if I'm fighting in the cage, if I'm talking mad shit to you, I'm gonna bring that heat. I'm gonna put that pressure on you, and eventually, people are gonna break. So I know, and this is why I'm so happy. Shout out to Dan Hardy. This is why I'm so happy Dan Hardy was commentating my fights, because he understands what the fuck I'm doing in there. People think I'm getting hit left and right, but I'm like cross blocking, rolling, shoulder blocking. It might look like I'm getting hit. Even the dudes I'm fighting, when they're in front of me, they're like, oh, I'm getting him. And then they get horned up and put a little bit too much on their punches. And then towards the middle of the first round, end of the second, end of the first, latest start of the second, I can feel like, yep, 5% have gone off the gas. They do this, I do this. And then that kills them.
And then this is your second straight win, and you were also the underdog for this fight as well.
I was the favorite right before I walked
No,
in.
right before you changed to the underdog.
Shut the fuck up. This guy don't let him use nothing.
Okay, well, the sharp money came in on you, but do you feel like, in a sense, that you're almost being disrespected because you put on a vet performance?
Oh, no, first of all, don't call me vet. Okay.
Okay,
Second of all, odds makers, I said it before, I said it again. These are the people that sit at home, play UFC, beat their meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They have their mom cook them fucking meatballs every day, and they have never banged a chick. How the fuck can you listen to those people? They think they know about fighting, but they just play UFC. Fuck the odds makers, fuck the casuals. They don't know shit about fighting. Like Roger Mayweather actually said, most people don't know shit about boxing or fighting or football or basketball. So I don't give a fuck. If people have something they want to come talk to me about, see me in the cage or come holler at me at the cage in Extreme Couture and we figure it out.
And you said fuck the casuals, fuck the odd makers. You got any advice for them?
Shut the fuck up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Being in the PFL, obviously you're fighting much more per year. How have you had to change your training to make sure you stay fresher for fights every couple months?
I went up a weight class. That's the only thing. I train every day. That's it. Like I said, some kids like to play PlayStation, some like to play soccer. Like, my highlight of the day is going to practice. That's it. I live for it. My body might not say the same. I like a good burger and some pizza, but I'm training every day. Whether I'm in camp, out of camp, on vacation, whatever, I'm training every day.
And you mentioned Extreme Couture. What have you learned there that's helped up-level your game?
So first of all, it gives you, as a European, it gives you great confidence. When we come from small gyms, right? We grow up seeing the Americans, the Brazilians on the big stage, and you don't really think you can make it. And when you go over to a big gym and you train with the people that you've grown up seeing, and you beat their ass or go toe to toe with them, you're like, fuck, I can do this. So that's the main thing. Like, Europeans in general, I think it would be very healthy for them to go to the bigger gyms and try to go with the people that you see on TV. So you don't stay in that European kind of mindset that's like, oh yeah, for Europe it's so tough getting here, blah 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 blah. So yeah, and then what I learned in Extreme Couture is, especially from the old school guys like my coach Dennis or Randy Couture, it's like, it's not about winning or losing. It's about performing. It's about fighting like a bad motherfucker. That's it. And if you do that, and if you answer the call when the promoters call you, you will always have a job.
Who's your go-to team in FIFA?
Fuck. First of all, the new 24 sucks ass.
I agree.
So, but in 23 it was Madrid.
It has to be.
Yeah, it was mad good with Benzema and Vini and all those guys. Yeah.
FC Copenhagen.
Fuck no.
Are you Bromby?
No, nothing. Like, I'd rather watch a dog shit turn hard than I watch Danish soccer. Like, it's trash. Yeah.
So I used to live in Copenhagen.
Oh, you did?
I've been to all those games.
Why in Copenhagen?
I lived in Copenhagen.
Okay, but that's
Sorry, I lived by Kilt Mall.
okay. I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real stuff.
Yes, I was a steady broadcasting for a year.
Okay, that's cool. Nice.
Yo, 2 words from that performance: veteran savvy. Veteran savvy. It's a very veteran performance of you.
3 words for you: slap you up.
What can you tell me about Elvin's awkward style, his strength, his toughness in the clinch tonight?
His strength is he makes it messy, and a lot of people is like, so I always say, and that actually goes back to what I learned at XC. All the most important shit in fighting is the shit you don't see. So you might have a dude who he passed the eye test. He's like, boom, he's fast. His right hand is good. His left hand is good. Like his kicks, his jiu-jitsu look mad slick. It's entertaining, but he don't got the grit. He don't know how to play strategy. He don't know who he is and who he isn't. And everything I've just said that those guys do, Elvin does not. So he knows exactly what he is, what he isn't. He knows what plays into his game and what doesn't. This is just what I feel. Like he might not be, when you see him like, oh shit, he's super technical. And I mean this in the best way because that shit throws people off. But then when he goes in, he makes it messy. He makes people frustrated. If you don't know how to keep calm and you're just like, oh, muscle him in the clinch and trying to take him down and shit, then you can, then you gas out and then he got you. That's why in the first round when he was trying to clinch me up, I was just like, trying to hang on him. And then I could see, okay, now he's starting to slow down, and then I started being even more in his grill. Yeah. So
You looked a little horned up going into that third round. What are some of the things Dennis told you going into that final
just
round?
5 fucking minutes, and I could see on his face that he was like, fuck this shit, kind of, because, like I said, the body shots, he was like, in the clinch, even though it looked like small ones, every time I just barely touched his body, he was like, and especially that liver hook, when I had him against the wall right before I hit him with the knee, I feel like I could feel his spine through his stomach, like he slumped over. But smart move by him.
Yeah, you got one of the best coaches in the game in your corner, in Dennis Davis.
That's one of the
But
best and the most bald.
Baldness, yes.
Yeah,
But
baldy locks.
you didn't have Blake Monty in your corner this week.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I want to give a huge shout out to my man Blake. Like you're supposed to be here, but like I think 3 or 4 days before we traveled out here, his house went on fire. And like his whole shit burned down. He lost everything he had. So there's a GoFundMe out there so we can help him and his wife Maddie and his dog and shit. So yeah, mad love to Blake. He's always there when I need him. He's like my brother from another mother. Like real cool. So yeah, go donate a little bit to the GoFundMe. He's a good man with a good wife and a very cute puppy. So yeah.
I saw before the announcement of the decision, you were talking a little bit to Dan Hardy, you were talking a little bit to Ali Abdelaziz. I know the adrenaline was pumping, but do you remember any of the things you were saying to them or they were saying to you?
I walked up to Dan and I was like, yeah, I know it was a smart third round. I didn't want to risk anything because you can always get hit by shit. And I knew he was kind of fucked up by the body shots and the knockdown. So I was just stay on him because he was kind of gassed. And then I told Dan, like, yeah, man, I'm so happy. Finally, you commentate my match because usually a lot of commentators, they shit on my boxing because they don't know what the fuck they're watching. But Dan, I've sparred with Dan. Dan know what I'm looking for, what I'm doing. My style, I don't think people understand how fucked up it is to stand across me before they're actually in there. Because the pressure, it comes back to like, you don't see it. Like it's nothing because I'm not touching you necessarily, but I'm there all the time. So they'd be like, oh, fuck. And then they realize by the late first, mid-second, they're like, fuck. And then they drown, yeah.
About 30 seconds ago, I got a message from Shane Burgos. He says, tell him good fucking shit. I'm not a beer drinker, but I'll most definitely crack one open with him after all.
Mad respect. Let's get it, Shane. I hope you will. Let's get it on. Let's put on a banger, man.
And then one more thing. Do you feel like you, how close was that Japanese necktie you were going for?
He was slippery as an eel, so that was not close.
Not close.
That was not close. Like, I was like, God damn, as soon as I locked it on him. And he got like that bull neck.
Mm-hmm.
So like, nah, fuck, just stay on top.
People were saying you rushed it. People.
Yeah, I'm saying you need to rush the fuck out of here if you don't want me to slap you up. Nah.
And then last thing, you headed to Denmark after this fight.
Yeah.
You think your family misses you as much as you miss them, or they're happy with you fighting every month?
Probably my dog. My mom don't miss me messing with her all the time, but you know, that's mom and son. Yeah, I'm a mama's boy. I'm not afraid to admit it. Love my mom, love her food. Can't wait to come home and fucking have her cook and all that shit.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you. Is it? Yeah. Thank you guys. Have a great evening.
Let me take a picture.